All righty, folks. We're here on Nino's Corner.tv. I'm here with David Weiss once again. And I catch a lot of shit for having you on, but but I also get a lot of I get a lot of good feedback. I've always said I'm still the skeptic. I don't necessarily believe the earth is flat.
Dave, I'm going to let you in on a secret.
Hold on, Dave. You raise a lot of questions, and you're able to, with any question I have, you have a rebuttal for, you have an answer for, which I respect. And I just know NASA's not telling the truth. I know they're full of shit, and I know it's like the Hollywood of space. So given that, let me go into my little spiel here real quick, Dave, and we'll get started. Sound good?
Sounds good.
My digital money, folks, my digital money's cash account is here. Finally, a crypto cash trading platform with top-notch US-based client service that actually answers the phone to help you when you need it. Whether it's help recovering a password, questions about cryptos in our platform, help in submitting documents or other issues, we will answer your call. We also features to help you make better crypto investment decisions that are either not available or you have to pay for in other platforms. Trigger, order, automatically sell, or buy coins based on your own perimeters to guarantee the opportunity for gains or minimize loss. Gains, loss prompt. Know how much you are making or losing in real time. Tax options. You can choose how to sell your cryptos to make your taxes most efficient for your needs. Since MDM offers both crypto, IRA, and cash trading, there is no need to move from one platform to another for all your different crypto investments. You can do all your crypto investment in one platform and enjoy a customer service quality you can't find elsewhere. This company is owned by our friend Colin Plume from Noble Gold Investments. This is a company you can trust. Although we are offering cryptocurrency investments, our primary product is service. We are here to help you. Just dial 833-636-2008. Hit the link below, folks, and get started with my digital money. All right. And, folks, also, Nino's Corner.tv, 30% off right now, 30% off Nino's Corner.tv for the Black Friday sale. It's only good on Nino's Corner.tv on the Black Friday sale. And it's going fast. People, it's only going to last until Black Friday.
I guess I guessed wrong. I had all set for the keto with Nino backdrop. So,
yeah, I already knocked that out.
All right. Well, there you go.
No, but listen, I mean, thanks for bearing with me on that. You start growing a little bit, you start having to do this stuff. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. But listen, man, I'm always excited to have you on. I have a very open mind. You know that, Dave. We talk in private. But I gotta play the skeptic, Dave. I can't be fucking jumping on.
You are playing the skeptic, but
here.
You forgot to wear your matching sweatshirt today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to send me some stuff, man.
I will happily send you one of these sweatshirts if you wear it. But here's the thing. And for those of you that have seen me here before, you might have hated me at first. Now you're like, wait a minute, this guy's making sense. For those of you that have no idea what this is one of the most important topics. And most people are like, what do you mean it's the most important topic? Look at the craziness going on in the world, right? Like all of the stuff you're following in the news, Dave, they're getting away with all of this because people are lost in space, spinning out of control. And that's the problem. You understand? So,
well, I know for a fact NASA is not telling the truth. It's a lie.
Right.
I have a hard time believing. I don't think we've ever left Earth's lower orbit.
Correct.
I can believe that there's some kind of dome above us. I feel like we are living in the Truman Show. Every day I feel like this reality is not really what it's supposed to be. It's been hijacked by whatever you want to call demonic presence, Satan, Lucifer, whatever. But we're being lied to, and I see it. I see it every day.
Yeah. So the other thing is there's so much deception in this world. Think about this. They're lying about where we live, right? To the point where, people think that this is what flat Earth is. This is not what flat Earth is. They want you to think that this is what flat Earth is.
Is there a chance, Dave, that we could be living on a planet that's obtuse? that's kind of like this, and nothing at the bottom. Just
funny you should say that, because that's what they're trying to program with. I have an image for you in a second. I
just believe in outer space. I think there has to be an outer space.
Well, when you talk about outer space, what are we talking about? Antarctica. So let me just pull up this picture. Sorry about that. If we live here in this inner space, what's out here? That would be the outer space, David. Okay. And
what are meteors? What are asteroids? What's the moon? I mean, I can see them. I can see stars. I can see the moon.
Correct. So first, if we live here in the inner space, out here, this is an old Japanese map, whether you believe it or not. It's a story we're told. It was in the New York Journal, which is now the New York Times, I believe. And it's showing all of these continents in what I call the outer space. Outer space is beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Antarctica is the shoreline of our known world. And what's out there? So what's more likely?
That's an actual map.
That's a map, they say, that was 10 centuries old. It was found in Hawaii, I believe. And it's showing a map of all these other continents beyond Antarctica.
And why wouldn't they want us to know about that?
Well, because they want to put you in a prison. That prison is a prison for your mind. And they put us on a ball, right? So what they did, this is the most accepted flat Earth map. Where is it? My AE map just disappeared. So we don't have. By the way, there's the Gleason's map. This is the most. Hold on. Here we go. A new system here, so I'm just getting used to it. This is the most accepted flat Earth map. We don't have a perfect map, but it's way better than the globe. The globe doesn't work at all. As a matter of fact, they're telling us in the latest Time magazine cover, they're telling us that there's a new map, which is here. It is this is I think most current. It says a new, more accurate map, and they got this weird Earth-looking thing up there. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is just the other day they were talking about. You were mentioning it about the missiles from Taiwan, right? They're talking about China launching missiles, and they're coming around the Earth, and the Pentagon is baffled on how they can go Mach 5, right? So this is the article. Pentagon officials remain baffled by Chinese hypersonic missile technology after being tested with weapons that could deploy a nuke, right? Whenever you hear nuke, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we'll get into another time. But it's going 5 times the speed of sound, and they're baffled how they can go 5 times the speed of sound, right? But Dave, we forget that the space shuttle goes 25 times the speed of sound. Okay, this hunk of junk can go faster than this technologically.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when
that's what they say. That's what they say.
They say it's going over 17,500 miles an hour to break orbit. When this thing, the SR-71, could only go 2,300 or 3,200, Mach 3.2, whatever it is. And that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Here it is, Mach 3.2. Any faster, this thing will rip apart. But then they tell us that this hunk of junk, this garbage can go Mach 33, 22,000 miles an hour. Can. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Think about it. The logos don't burn off. The color doesn't burn off. There's no paint on this thing, because that Mach 3.2, the paint would come off. It goes
right. And I'm not saying that that's what I've said before. They lie to us all the time. So okay, yeah. I mean,
right. So now when we go back to the Chinese the article about the nukes coming over, Pentagon's baffled how it can go Mach 5, but we can go Mach 33 in a garbage can. Okay. So all of it is nonsense. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether the threat of Taiwan and Chinese starting a war China starting a war is a real threat, it's a staged threat, or it's organic, or it's complete nonsense, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because the outcome's the same. They're gonna, whether it's a false flag, whether it's real, whether they're working together or the governments are not working together, it doesn't matter. The result is the same. We're all being fooled. We're all being led down a pathway. What's in the news? Look at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
All over the news. You know what was in what trial's going on at the exact same time?
Maxwell,
right. And
that's
what do we get?
The big one.
We get one sketch of what's going on.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the one where everyone. Yeah, that's another whole topic for another show. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then the latest thing.
Everyone's yelling at me because I'm not covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I'm like, don't you know it's smoke and mirrors, you morons?
There's so much. I'm not making any claims whether he did kill people, whether he was.
I don't fucking care at this point.
Again, it doesn't matter.
Is Maxwell.
Right. It doesn't matter whether it's real, set up, stage. Doesn't matter because they're just taking everyone's minds, getting us to fight over it. It wasn't real. There was a green screen. It wasn't a green screen.
Yeah.
And then and now we have this car that ran through the was it a parade that was going on?
Another distraction. Another way to take you off the ball. Take your eyes off the ball.
Here's just a little coincidence. Doesn't prove anything. This is a trailer from South Park that went out. That's about a thing they're putting out on Thanksgiving, and they're talking about it's called post-COVID. And did you see that? A red car, same color, running over people, came out a couple days before this thing happened.
They got to hide it in the open.
Let's just say coincidence on that,
Yeah.
And then, funny, the guy's got a skateboard. I don't know, Kyle, the whole thing with him was being beaten up with a skateboard. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching too far.
No, I don't think you are. Like these days, I'm open to anything now, Dave.
So getting back to the Earth. This map is used for navigation. This is what pilots use. This has been used for ever. It's the most accurate map of the world. Some people say, well, Australia, it's just the globe stretched out. And in reality, it's the other way. They took our map and wrapped it around the globe. So here's our map. They literally brought it in Photoshop and created this. And this is a prison for your mind. Right? So there's no place to go when in reality, what's beyond Antarctica? Dave, we don't know because of the Antarctic Treaty. No one's allowed to go out there. What's out there?
That's suspicious in itself.
Yeah, no one's allowed to go.
But then I've also heard there's extraterrestrials there.
Think about it. Extraterrestrials, extra terra, extra land. Think of that Japanese map I just showed you. That's extra territory. So if you lived up there, you're an extraterrestrial from where? The outer space. All of the largest telescopes in the world are located in the southern countries, Santiago and New Zealand and South Africa, and they're all pointing outwards. They're not pointing up. They're pointing out.
Dave, what about in the southern hemisphere? Don't you see a whole different set of constellations, or does everyone see the
100%.
same?
No, 100%.
Okay, so then that would show that they're on the.
Dave, this is so. First thing is, if you Google Antarctica from space, you only get cartoons. All of these are cartoons. There's no photos of Antarctica. Now there is some photos where you see some stuff along the edge, but all of the interior is all made up in garbage. So let's get to the stars. How we see different constellations. Dave, if you and I are in a room, with 10-foot high ceilings and we have recessed lights, we'll say those are the stars. Okay. Now expand that room to the size of New York City, even bigger. Okay. I send you 5 miles away from me. One, I'm not going to be able to see you because if you've ever been to Vegas, even in like the Bellagio, the hallways are so long that the lights on the ceiling merge with the floor at the far end of the hallway due to perspective. So if I sent you 5 miles away, one, I can't see you. Two, we both look up. We're going to look up at completely different lights. It's all due to perspective, right? You're on the you're on the far side of the room.
I mean, okay.
And here's the thing.
You got an answer for everything.
Here's the thing. I don't have an answer for everything, but flat Earth is the truth. The globe is the biggest, dumbest lie ever. Where once you
Could they both be lies? I mean,
well, here's the thing. flat earthers know that we don't know many things.
Right.
But,
I'm on board with that. I'm on
Yeah.
board with that.
We know that. Globers think, oh, well, boats go over the horizon. That proves that the earth is flat. Well, no, it doesn't. Right. And when you go up higher, you can see farther. Anybody could do this. If you find a nice big field, like a football field, put a football on the 20-yard line, go to the far end of the field, lay down and put your ear on the ground and look at that football. First, the grass is going to cover of like half of the football. The grass in the foreground is going to be bigger because it's closer, and it's going to cover half of the football, and the football is going to be sitting on a horizon. You're not going to be able to see any grass behind it. But then when you stand up, now all of a sudden you can see the last 20 yards all the way into the end zone because so that doesn't prove that the football field's a sphere. It just proves that a higher angle of view gives you a farther view. But they've brainwashed people thinking, because you're higher, you're seeing over the curve of a ball. Well, you could see, raising up on a ball, yeah, you would see a little bit farther, but it's the same thing on a flat earth. It makes more sense on a flat earth.
You don't think it could be a little rounded a little bit, just a curved, just kind of tiny bit?
I hear you, but no way does the earth curve in any way. It's scientifically testably provably flat.
Now my audience is to say, oh, bullshit, we've seen pictures of people in space. It shows the earth rounded. You're going to say that's a fisheye lens.
Well, it is a fisheye lens. This is 120,000 feet, and this is flat. But the diameter, they tell us the diameter from the center of the earth to the edge of the earth is just short of 4,000 miles. So here's your curvature, right? That's the diameter. The distances that we see would require a diameter of over 250,000 miles versus the 4,000. Okay, we can see with infrared technology now. We can see way, way, way farther, and that would require a diameter of an Earth, many, many, many times bigger than they say. But again, large bodies of water at rest lay flat, and that's it. That's scientifically provably flat.
What about the currents, the tides? They say that's from the moon. They say the lunar,
right?
That's what creates the ocean tides and movement, right?
There's actually
cycles or whatever.
That's actually no correlation to the moon, because the full moon supposedly has a higher tide. When the new moon, the moon's still there. It's just not lit in the heliocentric model. It should still have the same amount of tide, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is the official story.
All that is the brightness from the sun, right? If the moon that's just the effect of the light.
Right. So that shouldn't affect the gravity, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
The moon is its own, excuse me, the moon is its own source of light. But here's the official story. This you're going to have a hard time believing this. So if my head was the moon, it's pulling this water away from the earth and creating a bulge. But at the same time, there's a high tide on the far side of the earth. This is a fact. And this is the official explanation.
Right now, you're showing the flat Earth model or the globe
no.
model?
This is the globe. This is the globe,
okay.
So this here is a bulge of water. Where this is representing a high tide. Okay. So the moon is pulling the tide. This is what they tell us. It's making a high tide here, but at the same time, there's a high tide on the other side of the earth. That's because the moon is pulling the earth away from the water that's on the other side. Does that make any sense, David?
Not really, no.
Right. And then it gets worse. Then they tell us that the tides don't move. They're locked to the moon and the earth rotates through the tide. Dave.
Yeah.
This is stuff that people just hear it. They're like, oh, well, it's got to be true because Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And they teach it in school, and Neil deGrasse Tyson comes out, the shill that he is.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's a shill.
Yeah, and Dave, they're mocking us all the time. And if you look at the the Bezos rocket, look at this thing, look at it, and
the dick,
it got cut off. Yeah, it's a dick, and then the other one, but
isn't that
Branson?
But isn't that more aerodynamic? I mean, they wouldn't send something flat up. I mean, I guess they could.
Well, Dave, here's the thing. Nobody goes up on these rockets.
You don't think you're looking a little too far into it right here?
Well, you know what? That's a stretch. I'm with you. But again, when they show us this stuff, let Let me just show you. When they show us this rocket, this is what they show us. All right, here we go. Transition. Whenever they show us the Bezos rocket, the camera's got this funny motion. I think I showed you this last time. Didn't I show you this? Right?
Yeah.
Look, Dave, they're literally mocking us. Watch the next shot. When they cut the next shot, what are they doing here? What
They're fucking space.
right.
Dave, I mean, you don't think you're looking a little too far into it right there? I mean,
so let's look at some more realistic stuff. This is Elon Musk shot his Tesla into space.
That right there, I could tell it's fake.
Thank you.
They're saying that's real.
Yeah, they're saying this is real, and it wasn't even
so
up as
big.
high. It wasn't even up as high as the ISS, and they're showing this. Right?
Yeah,
There's so many
right.
things. There's so many things wrong with this, and they said the car wasn't modified. How come the tires didn't explode? Where's the rear view mirror? Well, okay,
You're right. How's the windshield intact?
Yeah,
that would break.
Yeah, the temperature swings 500 degrees, every time you're in and out of the sun.
That right there by itself is just such a lie. Look at that bullshit.
Yeah. And then if you look at the other day, they sent Shatner up into space. 94?
He wouldn't be able to he can't even probably do a jump rope one time.
So check this thing out. This thing is coming down, right? And then watch it slam into the ground, right? Look at that.
Oh my gosh, they would be like,
he would be destroyed.
Yeah.
And then the problem is, and then when they get there, no ambulances. Dave, at a bike race, at a marathon, at a kids event, they have ambulances.
No kidding. Yeah.
Not a single medical person.
So they
was
just
there.
land in the desert and will walk off somewhere.
Just land, and then they come out with a chair, with a staircase, and they come out. And Williams going, "Oh, the blackness of space." He's a horrible actor. Horrible.
Yeah, and that's what he is. Though he is an actor. But here's the thing: is what piqued my interest in the flat Earth is that I know the moon landing was fake. I know it was.
Yeah.
I don't get a Wi-Fi signal in New Mexico when I'm driving through New Mexico. Yet you're going to tell me they were able to televise the moon landing. How many miles away is it? Supposedly like 400,000, 300,000 miles away.
238,000 miles away
in the 1960s. No, you didn't. You're
right.
lying. You're lying.
And then when you look at the Red Bull jump, he went up to 127,000 feet, and they lost communication with him, Dave. They couldn't communicate from the Earth to 127,000 feet.
They couldn't communicate with who?
With Felix. No, Felix Baumgartner. Baumgartner. I'll never get his name right, so nobody give me crap about it.
That's all right.
They had a hard time keeping in contact with him at 127,000 feet, which is about
You're
this
in
size.
good company here, Dave. I butcher everyone's last name.
Thanks. What else? You brought up a couple other things that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about. I think you should show for the new audience that's watching this, going, "Oh, this is crazy. Everything I learned in school is real." Can you show them the horizon? How you can pull them back up on, with a telescope? Because I think that's important for people to see.
First, I'll pull that up in a moment. But first, this is what you have to believe if you believe in the heliocentric system. Nothing exploded, created everything. Gas balls made suns, and rocks made planets, and left a vacuum in between, which is impossible. But we'll just let that slide. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, which means when you're watching the sunset, it's not going down because it's going away, just like it is. It's going down because you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. You're orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. You're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, right? This is a hypersonic track sled. Watch it. It's going to go by a couple times at Mach 8.6, okay?
Wow.
Mach 8.6. Now,
and they're saying that's Mach 8.
This is Mach 8.6.
The space shuttle is going how fast?
Oh, Mach 20, 23.
Right, people are in there.
No, Mach 33. Sure. Mach 33. We're orbiting the sun, David. We're orbiting the sun 10 times faster than this, and we're chasing the sun at 100 times faster than that in a curved, corkscrewing path. But when we go into nature, we see things like this.
I'm not going to deny you're right. I mean, you make complete sense.
Dave, nature doesn't lie. Men lie. Okay? This is showing you a perfectly still world. People go, well, Even though we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting 10 times faster than a rocket sled, chasing the sun in a curved path 100 times faster, gravity makes lakes like this. That is just a weak mind that has been trapped, that has been fooled, somebody's ego that is unwilling to let go of their lifelong indoctrination because you've been indoctrinated before you can talk. Before, when you were a baby, everything is globes. Sesame Street, globes. All of the kids' cartoons, everything. First worksheet you bring home from school, planet orbits and sun, moon, and the stars orbits. Okay? That's the first thing you're taught in school, like, one of the first things.
Are you going to show the horizon? Like how the ships disappear on the horizon? Because I think that's very important to show my audience.
Yes.
And I have other questions. I mean, I have loads of questions. It's just like whatever pops in my head first, I guess.
Right. So let me pull that up. This is why I'm pulling that up. This is the Suez Canal, over 100 miles long, and they never accounted for any curvature. There should be over a mile of curvature. A mile. Right? A mile of curvature makes no sense. So now Bill Nye, the lying guy with the bow tie, he says that if a boat goes over the curve of the earth, it disappears from the bottom up. He's 100% correct. But we don't live in Narnia on a spinning ball. The earth is flat and things do appear. Now, if you look out here, there's no boat. But as we increase, we're zooming in, increasing the angular size, all of a sudden you can see there is a boat. Okay?
Right. And if the earth was curved, that boat would be
you wouldn't
be able to pull it up.
You'd zoom into a physical horizon. And now as I zoom out, you'll watch several reasons why it's disappearing from the bottom up. It's disappearing from the bottom up because the bottom has the lowest angle. But if you stood up just like with that football in the football field, you can now see farther. You'd be able to see the boat. If you went up higher, you'd be able to see the boat, except if its angular size was beyond the limit of your eye.
This is bizarre. I mean, this is the one thing that stumps me every time. This
is the thing that got me when I first was fighting the idea that the earth could be flat. I saw these videos, so I went out and I bought a $1,000 camera, super zoom Nikon P900. Now there's the P1000, and you could zoom in and see things that are gone on a physical ball, the size that they tell us. A 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of the ocean should not be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles away. There is required by physics, actual science, that the physical horizon would be 3 miles away and everything below that would drop down. Now, something's taller beyond that, it'll stick up for a while on a ball, just like they tell us. But we can go out and we can see buoys that are 10, 15 miles away. Right? It's impossible. From here in Connecticut, I can see underneath the Whitestone Bridge, Dave. The top of those stanchions should be below the horizon. And I can see underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they just yell refraction, and here's the thing. There's all sorts of different things that make things disappear. There is refraction. When you get out farther, the water will mirror the sky. Okay. And then things will disappear, and then the waves in the foreground are bigger because they're closer, and then the horizon is kind of blocked behind those waves. Like right now, my finger blocks half of my face. That could be a wave closer to you, but when I bring that towards me, look, it only covers the bottom of my chin.
Right.
Yeah. And then so this boat isn't floating in the air. This boat is just on the water, but you can't see the water. And if there was no land behind here, you would think that this is the horizon, but it's not, right? So here's an example that we did. So there's a matchbox on this table, and I'm zooming in, and we see it. We don't have any waves, we don't have any atmosphere. And as I zoom out, its angular size gets too small. The refraction of just the table, it's invisible. But if I stack some more matchpacks on top of it, I'd be able to see them. I go up higher, I can see them. I can see it, and I can see the table behind it. But when I get down to the level of the table, I can't see it unless I zoom in, just like I did with the sailboat. Okay? That table is not spherical.
Huh.
Right.
Look
And
at that.
yeah, and Dave, the optics of the sky.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah, and we did it in a Home Depot floor. I got to do it again because we got lost in the YouTube purge. Got an iPhone, put the camera on the ground with the lens, close to the ground, and put a brick right in front of it, covered the whole screen. Drag that brick away to the point where you couldn't see it anymore. Lift the iPhone up.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why would YouTube purge your videos?
A lot of
What
stuff
if
got
scared of why?
Yeah. If you Google flat Earth, whatever, anything with flat Earth in it, you get the same results. Like the most popular video, one of the greatest learning videos is called a very unique name, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth 21 Questions. Okay, by ODD TV. You search that and you're going to get all of the same shill videos. Professor Dave, Simon Dan. You're going to get all of these propped up propaganda, gaslighting, straw man arguments against flat Earth, all nonsense, right? And you won't. They're hiding it. They're shadow banning it. Right now, we're still on YouTube. They're not hiding.
I'm kind of nervous to put this on YouTube.
No. Dave, this won't. Just don't put flat Earth in the title. You're fine. Okay. Don't put flat Earth, and there, no one gets strikes for anything flat Earth. There's nothing to worry about there, right?
Next thing you know, my channel's bombed.
It's not. You're going to be bombed by butthurt globe trolls, but that's fine.
And who's that one guy I brought your attention to? That's a glober that always discredits the flat earthers and just mocks you guys and makes fun of you guys. He's got millions of views on all his
Simon Dan.
What's his name?
Simon Dan.
Simon Dam.
Yeah.
I'm challenging you, Simon Dam, to a debate with my man here, David Weiss. I'll referee it. Come on. Throw some balls and come on the show, and we'll do this together. Listen, I'm just going to referee it. Simon Dan and David Weiss. Let's see it. What do you think, David?
You know what? I will do it with Simon Dan. There's just other guys out there that just talk circles and nonsense. I just did an interview that's coming out soon, if these guys air it, with a theoretical physicist, an F-16 pilot, and another theoretical physicist host of the show. Fan of theoretical physics, and I had Jaron on with me from Jaronism channel. We destroyed them. I can't wait for it to come out.
And I got to remain neutral. So the challenge is out there for Simon Dan to come on the show against David Weiss. Challenge is out there. I remain neutral. I can't take either side, but I'll referee this. I'll judge it. We'll leave it up to the audience to judge. But
and then you get stuff like this when they want to confuse people about mirages. This was all over the news. Look at this ship; it's floating in the air, right? But this is just a simple optical illusion. And when you really look at what's going on, this boat is sitting on the water. This is just a wind line. This is smooth water, and the sky is very uniform, so it's not doing anything. The real horizon is here. So now you can see it, rough water, smooth water, and the horizon's somewhere out here, right? But the news is like, oh, Fata Morgana, mirage, and this, and the Earth's curvature and refraction. No, it's smooth water and rough water, and there's the horizon. It's not floating anymore. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. It's just.
Yeah. And then, so as I was saying, the optics of the world, the optics are no way to prove, when you look into the sky, to prove the shape of the Earth. We can measure the shape of the Earth, anything that we can touch. Oh, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about is you said something, now I'm forgetting what it is. It'll come to me in a second. But here's a question. Are these tables the same width and dimension?
I'm going to say yes because you're going to say
yeah, of course they are, but they don't look it, right? So unless you can touch it and measure it, right, you don't know the shape, the shape and size. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. And then, if we look at the moon, people say the moon looks round. I agree. The moon does look round. But what is the moon? Are these round? Right. The first one, well, it's kind of tricky. It's a half a dome. What about the second one? This is my favorite. Is that one round? Is that one spherical?
Yeah. Why doesn't the moon rotate, by the way? Why doesn't
Because they say it's gravitationally locked. Okay. That's absolutely ridiculous. And so one of the arguments on the flat Earth is, well, how can somebody in South America see the moon, the same face of the moon, if the ball, they're assuming it's a ball, versus somebody on the inner north, right? Because you'd be kind of looking at different sides of the moon. And as I said, the optics of the sky are no way to prove the Earth. But moon optics. Here we go. So this guy in the pool, look at his body. It's facing us, but he's really facing straight forward. Okay.
Yeah.
So we believe that there is some sort of lens in the sky, whether it's a physical lens or, but we believe that the sky is water. That sounds crazy for anybody new, but think about it. NASA, everything is, ships, docking, the Sea of Tranquility. It's all nautical terms. Why are they using nautical terms all the time? It's very strange. Doesn't prove anything. Just very interesting.
What about, let's get into the flight patterns as well, because I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah, the southern flights, with
they don't go over Antarctica. They're not allowed to go over Antarctica, right? But you're saying that's because Antarcticas exist all around the globe.
Well, or
the flat Earth, I mean.
Yeah, because you can't circumnavigate. Nobody has circumnavigated heading south. East and west are circles around the center, right? East and west right here. So east and west is a circle. This is west. This is east, right?
Right.
South is every direction away from the north. That's south.